Welcome to the Reykjavík Grapevine's Newscast, or Volcanocast, if you will. We're here in Meradalur. Jesus, I always say that wrong. This is our wonderful volcano in Fagradalsfjall. It's not very lively right now, but there is something happening for sure. Before we go into the news, I just want to tell you, of course, about our membership. Our membership is perhaps a new angle, I guess. We have actually emojis. I like that. And we got Lóa Hjálmtýsdóttir, and Lóa is like a very famous an artist in Iceland, and she always do this comic for us, and she's been a friend of ours for years. And she made all of the emojis, icons and everything, and like Pollý and me and so on. So you can use this, of course, if you're in the membership, like Pollý pawn and me being like stressed and with grey, what do you call it, salt and pepper here, right? Anyways, membership, remember it. If you like it, then of course it's there. So let's go into the news. The reason we're here actually in Meradalur is because we're very close to Keilir. Art is of course going to show you Keilir. We decided to come here rather because Keilir is a few kilometers away, and we wouldn't be able to show you just the lava and everything, or just check out the volcano. We want to see what's happening. But there have been, like, just last 24 hours, over 200 earthquakes. Before that, the past 2 weeks, we have had at least 10,000 earthquakes. These earthquakes are in quite some depth. They are coming from 5 to 7 kilometers depth, and it's safe to say that, we know how the rhythm is now, but just because of Fagradalsfjall. We know that what happens before eruption is basically quite a hectic period of earthquakes. We didn't know this before because we haven't had anything happening here for up to 800 years. It's a little bit complicated to walk here. Okay. Oof, it's also cold. The biggest earthquakes was only like 3.7, and it's not much. Not in Icelandic scale. Much in Iceland would be around 5. We know that something big is going to happen when it's more than 5. Then we can be pretty sure that something is going to go off. Well, not pretty sure, but it is what it is. Also, this could just be a continental drift. We're not even sure about that, but you never know actually. And the reason we're showing this area here is because you can see here, of course, we have the volcano over there, we have the old crater over there, and the magma under here is going there, like under these mountains over there. And if there is going to be a volcano connected to the Fagradalsfjall, it would probably happen somewhere around this area. But the quakes are a little bit further down there. So it's going to be interesting to see, if there would be a new volcano, that volcano would basically be 10 times more powerful, and it would be very different. And keep in mind, of course, this area, to get out of the wind dart, Jesus, the wind here is probably between 10 and 20 meters per second, and I would think it would be more close to like 20 meters per second. It's not the worst wind we have seen here, but it can be a little bit tricky to talk, hold the phone, and be in this lava. These rocky landscape, as you can see here. It's really easy to twist your legs. But thankfully we have a very nice shoes. Also, the systems here, they are, we know that all of them are probably active right now. For example, our volcanologists, most of them are geologists, they say that there is just now is not a new era in the Reykjanes Peninsula. So when this volcano goes down and completely dies out, it's very likely that we will have another volcano. I mean, it could happen tomorrow, but it could also happen in the next 20 years. But it is going to happen on this century, we know that. And it's going to be a lot of them, more than one and more than two. So this means that when we see these, feel these earthquakes up to 10,000 in 2 weeks, although none of them are like big or dangerous in that way, we know that this is exactly the same thing that happened before Fagradalsfjall. So here, right? So the volcano now in Fagradalsfjall is of course dormant, but we saw it before that there is a lot of smoke coming out of it, smoke and gas, and you can see it pretty evidently because I don't know if you see it from here, but it's like dust coming, like very brownish smoke coming out of this, and this is gas and just pollution that comes from these volcanoes. And by the way, it's not like if you're a climate denier, you don't even try to use this as an excuse because it's not even as much as like one car factory or anything like that. Well, perhaps a car factory, but it's not that much. Also, there are many indicators that shows us that this volcano could be just dying out completely. This started obviously in what was it, June, July. It's almost 7 months old. The lava field here is around 4.67 square kilometers. It's huge, to be honest. For example, Dalir, perhaps I can show you this or not, I don't know. You never can, but I always ask him. But just when we came here and show you this for the first time, we thought that this valley would it was so huge that it would basically just take all of this lava and eat it up. But we can see now, not even this valley is enough for that, lava. Also, over 300,000 people have actually visited this volcano since we came here the last time. And you can see there are still even helicopters here flying frequently. We've been seeing them all day, coming and going and so on. A lot of people on the up here when we were hiking. It seems like a good weather, of course, but the weather in Iceland is tricky. The more sunny it is, it often is more cold, and it can be more very different from if you're from a warm place where the sun is always good. The sun is not always good in Iceland. So, one more thing about Keilir also, because Art is going to show you Keilir. It's important to keep in mind that Keilir itself is not a volcano. It looks like it, definitely, but it's not. It's actually like a palagnite mountain, and those mountains that have palagnite, for example, you can see it like here, it's like these brownish stones. These mountains only erupt once and never again. This is the same with Keilir. And Keilir is a little bit funny in that way because we often call it just a bin of sand. Everyone that goes up there is like, it's not that impressive as a mountain when up close, but it's incredible to see it from afar, of course. It's also like a very important landmark for sailors. Sailors are still actually using this landmark just to see where they are and where they're heading and so on. So it's at least if you're an older sailor, we know that what is happening right now in Reykjanes is that peninsula is basically that if these quakes keep on going, and if we have unexpectedly a big one like 5.7 or 5.5, then we know something is going to happen for sure. But of course, if it's gonna, you don't want to show them the mountain. But if it's gonna like be always under 3 or like under 4, it's more than likely that it could just die out, and then we perhaps not much will happen here for the next perhaps like a decade, perhaps 5 years, perhaps 50 years. We have no idea, to be honest. So I think I'm not forgetting anything. Yeah, I mean, basically we have 5 different systems here. All of them could actually erupt. 2 of them could historically erupt at the same time. So this one is, I think it's on its like last breath. It's not much left. But then again, I would not be the first person to be wrong about that, because it's amazing how long this volcano has been alive. Because in the beginning, of course, we thought this would not be anything. So let's see how that goes at least. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, of course. Remember our membership, and also remember if you're in like the most expensive way, plan. When we go up, you can actually talk to us. We send like I'm sending videos and photos and so on through Discord. It's pretty fun actually. We're kind of like testing that as well. So, anyways, until next time, see you later. Where are we going? Here.